Hear anybody clapping? I don't hear anybody whooping. I don't hear anything going on out there. Come on. There we go. Lonely feeling deep inside. Find a corner where I can hide. Silent footsteps crowd me. What's wrong with you, Missy? Shine the darkness, but I can see. Imagine being that guy, the guy who gets to sing the Guess Who songs for thousands of people every night, flying high, and then suddenly you crash very hard.
Canadian rock singer Carl Dixon has spent the past 3 months in a Melbourne hospital after a head-on collision near Daylesford. He suffered devastating injuries in the crash, including losing his right eye, but soon hopes to be reunited with his family. Caroline Rondeau with the story of true grit.
There are words, I know there are.
This is all that's left of the vehicle Carl was driving when he strayed onto the wrong side of the road and into the path of a four-wheel drive. The 49-year-old, who plays in the Canadian rock band The Guess Who, was in Melbourne with his daughter Lauren, who stars in the new series of The Saddle Club.
And I'm told that the ambulance drivers told the police officer this guy has no hope.
Carl suffered multiple fractures, a brain injury, a lacerated liver and lost his right eye. But he's finally back on his feet. Doctors confident he'll eventually walk unaided.
In terms of his physical recovery, given the limitations with the weight bearing that we have, he's really progressed very well.
If all goes well, Carl hopes to be heading home in early August, but there's still a long way to go, with months of rehab ahead in Canada.
I love my home, and my kids are there, and my dogs are there, and I just can't wait to sit on my deck every day and watch the sun go by.
Caroline Rondeau, 9 News.
Right. That's where the story changes, the turning point. I was on my last day of being there. I was supposed to catch a plane the next day to Biloxi, Mississippi to rejoin the Guess Who tour. And I was late for dinner, got lost in Melbourne, and I was putting incredible pressure on myself that I had to save my family. Got myself in such a state that I totally forgot. They drive on the other side of the road in Australia. As simple as that. No intoxicants in my system, no cell phone, no other distractions, except I whipped myself up into an emotional frenzy of fear and confusion. And that caused me to block out the reality I was inhabiting outside this head full of thoughts. Forgot where I was. And boom. Some poor bugger coming home from work at the end of the day, where he ought to be, on his left side of the road. And there I was right in front of him as we came around a bend. All this side of my head was bashed. And took a big bite out of this arm, dislocated the elbow, huge gashes in the under part of this arm, and then a whole bunch of other incidental injuries just from an impact of two moving vehicles at that speed. And I thought of a summation of the process I went through, and I called it START, an acronym S-T-A-R-T, and that stands for Stop, Think, Accept, Renew, and Thank. START. The first thing I had to come to was quell the crazy spin. Whoa, 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 stop, realize what's going on here. This is bad, this is really bad. Stop pushing, stop trying to be that guy. There's no Superman here anymore. And what I thought about a lot was, what does this mean? What is gone? What do I still have? What's in the future for me? And then accept, which is really maybe the hardest part at times. It's kind of like the 5 stages of grief in a way. But accept that this is where we are now. Renew. Scan the whole world and every possibility around you and within yourself, mainly within yourself, of what still remains to you, to start over again. Summon up all the best you have in you. to renew, and finally, thank. Thank in your own mind and to their faces. Everybody you possibly can. The conditions around me had changed, but I had gone into autopilot, allowing all my energy to be spent on worry and fear. 30 years of driving on the right-hand side of the road counted for nothing in Australia. If I'd had a foreman, he should have pulled me off the road. I was a menace to myself and to other people, not fit to be on the road. The point of my story, as it applies to a team of driver professionals and their managers, is emotional upset equals intellectual impairment. Somebody who's in a flap or in a high state of agitation is quite possibly not fit to operate heavy machinery. That is simply because when we're in that state, we prioritize the events in our mind rather than the ones in the real world around us. Emotion travels faster than intellect. Fight or flight comes into play without reason. Only by mastering our emotions intentionally do we regain the here and now, regain our ability to respond to real life as it's happening. So, be where you are.
There's a point to this life, and give it all you got.
Let's get everyone safely home, folks. I'm Carl Dixon. Thank you very much.